I would like to introduce an organization that some of you may not be familiar with. You can see the name, Physicians of Indus Valley of North America. The term itself explains what we are. This organization was created about 8 months? Yeah, 8-9 months ago. Brainchild of these two people on my right and Khalil Nimar. The idea, of course, was to facilitate young graduates coming from Indus Valley, in other words, Sindh, to facilitate them to get observerships and residencies, train them how to interview, and acquire what is essentially needed, the residencies in this country. For those who don't know this, these last few months have been extremely successful, extremely successful. There was so much need for something like this, and we have been able to, the organization has been able to collect the data for all those newcomers and facilitate. And last year, if I'm not mistaken, there were 55 physicians who did get residencies with some assistance at least from PIVNA. I know most of you here may not be physicians, but I am sure you know people at home who are graduates who are just coming up. This is a word of mouth that will go around, and you'll be able to inform them that we do have an organization that will facilitate this endeavor. The committee includes these two people sitting here again, Dr. Siddiq and Dr. Bhatti. Dr. Siddiq is a pathologist in Texas. Dr. Bhatti is a gastroenterologist in St. Louis. Dr. Rahil Memon, standing right there, a psychiatrist in Texas who has been instrumental and has done a fabulous job in collecting the data and facilitating this endeavor. I should introduce myself. My name is Walid Sheikh, and I am somehow keeping the seat warm for the next president. I'm the president of this organization for now. The board of directors include Dr. Ijaz Turk, Dr. Khalil Nimar, Dr. Rafat Ansari, Dr. Sara Bukyo, and Ravi Pawan. Sorry. We're lucky to have, all of you have heard great things about National Institute of Cardiovascular Diseases in Karachi, which has expanded in the last few years, and we're lucky to have the executive director of that organization with us, Dr. Nadeem Qamar, an old friend. Please come and join us. And he's done a wonderful job, and असां सोचो पे तो निशाने हैदर बिन आसिफ अना शहीद कौन हुआ But he will obviously introduce and tell us what they have been able to do. But having said all what I have said, I think I'll hand over the mic to Dr. Siddiq to come and introduce everybody and start the proceedings. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Before I introduce the panel, I would also like to invite Dr. Nusrat Shah, the Vice Chancellor of Chandka. Very nice of her to make this special presentation. So, and in the panel we have Dr. Suhail Sheikh also. Dr. Suhail Sheikh is the Program Director of Mercy Health Residency Program in Janesville, Wisconsin. And nice of him to join us in the panel today. So first of all, thank you very much everyone for taking your time to attend this session today with us. As Dr. Wali Sheikh already mentioned, the overall what we are doing. I'll just give you a quick presentation, PowerPoint of what are the aims and objectives of our organization, why this is created, and what have we done so far in 2 years. Before that, like Dr. Wali mentioned, I am Dr. Siddiq. Also known as Siddiq Sheikh, some people call me Puram, so the confusion always remains. So I am Mohammed Siddiq Puram Sheikh, just FYI, because some people may think these are two different persons, but just let you know I'm the same person, Siddiq Sheikh. Anyway, so moving on. PIVNA as Physicians of Indus Valley of North America, why there was a need. Me, Rahid, Faiza, we are all involved in this mentorship, mentoring the young physicians from Pakistan all over Pakistan. And what we realized that when the kids are coming from, for example, bigger alumni, King Edward being the top one, Dow or Al Khan, there's a huge difference between the graduates of those alumni versus the graduates of, for example, if you go beyond Karachi. Let it be Lungs, let it be Chandka, Gumbert or Sakar, or institution of Sakar or wherever, there's a big difference in the approach and the resources that the students have. So that's what we kind of realized in all these years, and that's kind of why we thought that this is very important to have this organization. I'll just briefly introduce, can we move on to the next slide and turn off these lights please so people can see on the screen. So these are the ends and objectives. So basically what we are trying to do is to help and guide the medical graduates, as we mentioned, from medical schools of Sindh. Now, of course, as we understand that there are a lot of resources from the medical schools in Karachi. So that's why what we are trying to do is to provide the same opportunities, if we can, to the medical students from, again, all rural. It's not only rural Sindh, but whatever we can to focusing on the rural Sindh medical schools. We are arranging these mentorship opportunities, and then mentorship is it's kind of a lifelong experience. It's not just to help guide them just with the residency application, but to overall into the residencies, into the fellowships, and then provide and assist them with the financial needs also. So for example, last year, through the Lungs alumni, we raised about $18,000, and it was the first time ever that we have done that, and then we helped 6 students from Lungs and then 2 from Chandka, and then we gave them some interest-free loans and helped them to apply in the residency. Because it's a costly business. I mean, it can take up to $10,000 just to apply in 1 year. And many times the people who are not able to match, this cycle continues. So it's a big burden. So that's what we're trying to help with financial needs also. We're also trying to coordinate with similar organizations, with other alumni, and do these kind of sessions, the outreach sessions, the mentorship sessions, and all that. And then we'll also moving on. We'll also promote research and other academic programs in collaboration with other medical societies. And I mean, depending on, again, this is a democratic society. So first of all, we'll announce the election hopefully next year, and then however the membership would like to take this organization forward, we can do some philanthropic work also. But at this time, so at this time we are only focusing on 3 things, which is education, mentorship, and networking. So these are the 3 main aims of what we are trying to do now. Next slide. Just a list of some medical colleges in Sindh, and if you can go on to the next slide, right? Some public sector medical colleges, just to kind of give you an idea how many medical graduates are there from the public sector medical colleges in Sindh. This is critical. So this slide shows the number of applicants, meaning the number of medical graduates applying into a residency program in US. So as you can see, King Edward from Lahore is at the top. There, the most number of applicants are from King Edward, and then comes the Dow. Liaquat and Chanka, they are still in the top 10 medical schools as compared when you're talking to the number of applicants, how many people apply each year in a residency program in US. So Chanka and Lums are still up there in the top 10, but if you move on to the next slide, you see there's a huge difference. So for example, this is a data from 2022, 2023, and then close to 100 applicants, this is matched. And then when we come to Chanka, Lums, and other institutions, I think this is purple one is Lums, it doesn't show on the screen. But just to give you an idea, where do we stand as compared to Dow or other institutions? Next slide, please. Now, when we talk about this course, which used to be the biggest criteria, this is data from the applicants of Lums. As you can see, the scores are amazing. The average score is 250, which is great, which is like 99, it used to be 99 percentile. Most of the students are in that range. And some, this year, some people from Lums, they took 273, 278, and one of our friend, he took 283, which is the highest score in Pakistan ever. So the score-wise, our graduates from, from any medical school option, they are up there and they have very competitive score. But in the next slide, as you can see, this is very critical. And the program director, especially Dr. Suhail Singh, will kind of agree to this. I think that year of graduation is the key. Now, when we are looking at, this is again data from Lums. The year of graduation goes all the way from 2020 to 2016 and all that. So average year of graduation, when we move on from Karachi and other institutions and go back into what we call the rural Sindh or other institutions where we don't have those resources, the students, they take longer. Like on average, they are taking 3 to 5 years to just do the USMLE. The reason, again, because of the lack of resources, they don't have the mentorship, they don't have the guidance that is needed for these kind of exams. So the year of graduation is critical. And in the next slide, again, you'll see this is again the data from Lums. The year of graduation of one of the candidates was all the way up to 2008, which is like way beyond. So this is critical. So let's move on to the next slide, right? So with this data, so what are we trying to do here? We have structured PIVNA into multiple committees. We have a mentorship committee, and my friend Rai Raymond is the chair of mentorship committee. And what we are doing through the mentorship committee is arrange these mentorship opportunities, which include, but not limited to, first helping the candidates with building their CV. Now, CV writing. So, for example, we have one student from Chanka last year. Great scores, 250 plus, great experience, great student, but she did not have a single word in her CV, meaning she did not know how to just write that CV. Now 250 scores, when the program directors look at 250 and then they see the CV and then they talk to the candidate, it just doesn't connect, right? You see that academically you are so strong that you have these high scores, but when you are coming for the interview and then when we look at your CV and when you perform, there's just a huge disconnect. That's where we are trying to pitch in and help to guide these students. We conduct mock interviews, we help them how to write the CV, we conduct the workshops, how to write CV, personal statement and all that. And then not only to build their CV, and then we help them arranging the observership programs. And then for that, to arrange these observerships, of course, we need help from all PIVNA members, all physicians, all across. Not only PIVNA members, but we need help from everyone. So for example, you can talk to your friends in your hospital, in your clinics, wherever you are, to help arrange, to help us secure those rotations. These are a few preceptors who have signed up. We are very, very grateful to all these preceptors that you can see. So a big round of applause for all these people. And some of them actually have taken students already, and then some of them have already helped some students getting those visa letters to get for the embassy to get those visas secured and all that. So, but we have, and currently we have over close to 300 members in one of the WhatsApp group, which are practicing physicians or residents and fellows. We have another group which is for the match applicants, and we have about 280 or 290. So you can see what is the numbers that the need. There are 300 applicants from Sindh who are going to apply, and the perceptors we have are about less than 15 or 20. So there's a huge disproportion, proportionate. So this is where we need the biggest help. So I would urge all of you guys to please consider. If you cannot allow for your within your institutions, please talk to your friends, and whoever can accommodate our students, that'd be great. So this is what we are doing, and then these are we have another committee called Outreach Committee, and Dr. Javed Tunyu is the chair of Outreach Committee, and then Dr. Hadri is one of the members. He's from Chandka. Dr. Nusrat, just FYI, you're looking for Chandka alumni, so Dr. Wajid Hadri is from Chandka. I think Dr. Javed Tunyu is also from Larkana, but he graduated from SMC. So what we are trying to do through Outreach Committee is arrange these multiple in-person and online virtual webinars and seminars and workshops that can be on different topics. So for example, if we go to the back slide, these are a couple of the seminars that we did. I was there just 2 weeks ago, and I saw Dr. Nusrat to invite me, and I spoke at Chandka about the USMLE and residency guidance and all that. There were a lot of students who attended. Dr. Sattar Sheikh, just a few months ago, he visited Hyderabad and he gave a talk about PIVNA, introduction to PIVNA and residency guidance at Bilawal Medical College and ISRA. Again, very well received. So these are the seminars that we are trying to arrange through Outreach Committee. And our plan is to have one focal person in each medical school, and then where we can just connect to that person or the institution, and then we can have these sessions. All of us, I think most of us, if not all, we visit Pakistan, we visit Sindh. So we can, our plan is to generate a database. For example, you are going to Pakistan this month, next month, and we can create the whole database that you are visiting. And then if you can just spend 1 hour, 2 hours, wherever you are in Hyderabad, you are in Sakkar, you are in Larkana, just give us your time, and then we'll coordinate with the institution and arrange a talk. It can be any talk, it can be a topic, a medical topic, or it can be a career guidance seminar or workshop. So what have we achieved so far? As Dr. Waleed mentioned, we were just created in November 5th. We had an inaugural session in this hall. And so far we have conducted multiple webinars on the same topics. We have helped with mock interviews with the residents, with the applicants who applied last year for the match. We've also guided them through for the research. And we need help in each and every single of this domain. Every single domain we need help, we need mentors, and we need a big help and all. The other thing is that out of match support, now this year alone, I think there were about 12 or something. This doesn't happen often. There are about 12 or 15 Pakistanis who matched after the match season was over. So, like many of you might know, that there were about 500 spots unfilled in EM, emergency medicine. And so there are, like this year, we got to know that there were about 25 or some new programs that got accreditation, and that came after the match. And all we did is just prepare those folks for those interviews, and then at least 3 or 4 of them, they matched again after all the match cycle was over. There are another 5 plus candidates who got into the fellowship match. Again, this is a different topic, we can cover it later time, but just FYI, there are a few applicants who are here in the crowd. So there are other pathways also, like you can get into fellowship directly if you have a training from your home country, right? So that's another pathway where we helped a few students and they got into fellowship match without the residency in US. We have done that in outreach program, like I mentioned. We have some upcoming sessions which includes the alternate career pathways. I had a chance to talk to our colleague Dr. Rajpur here yesterday. He mentioned that he got through a different route, and now he's a medical director at some pharmaceutical company. Did his fellowship in immunology, if I'm correct. So that's another pathway, and there are multiple other pathways. USMLE is not the end of the world. So, if you can go through that, I mean, there are other multiple different pathways where we are trying to gather more data, and we're trying to gather more people who can help us out, and then we can conduct more webinars about that, and then in-person seminars also. And then we'll also do another CV personal statement workshop. The other committee, if we can go back, is the Media Coordination Committee. Dr. Zareen Pirzada is the chair of the Media Coordination Committee, and what we do through that is all our social media, our website, our email, and everything is our marketing and all that is covered by this committee. And then comes the membership committee. Dr. Sattar Sheikh is the chair of membership committee, and then we have multiple. We will launch the website hopefully in coming weeks, hopefully by next month, and then we'll have different membership types. We'll have the life member, we'll have the annual member, and then I would urge all of the physicians that please consider becoming the life member, which is going to be $1,000. I think that Dr. Mittal Bakasi, very nice of him, he is the first one who signed up of the life membership. And Dr. Iqbal is going to be the second one who already gave the check of life membership, so nice of them. And then we'll hope to get at least 50 life members. The annual membership is going to be $100 per year for the practicing physician, and then $25 for the residents. The students are match applicants, they'll become member for free. So that's kind of what the membership. Now, if we do all this, this is a poster. These are the applicants who matched this year. This is over 50 applicants who matched into these different programs. And now all of them are in a WhatsApp group. So now if you just think of the numbers, now this is 55. So at least about 570 Pakistanis matched this year. And out of those 570, I think there were about close to 300 who were from Sindh. That includes Karachi, right? And these are the kids. Most of you see, they are from Lungs, they are from Chanka, there are a few from PIMS, there are a few from GMC. So all that. So this number is only going to grow. Next year, this is going to get up to the 100. So in next 5 years, our organization can have 500 additional members only if we have the data of all of them, if we help them and talk. So sky is the limit. We will need all your help and support. So please come join PIVNA and extend your help in whatever you can.
Thank you, Khurram. I'd like to now introduce our colleague, having 3 young kids and being a full-time gastroenterologist, helping out with graduates in PIVNA, Dr. Bhatti, please. Just a brief comment.
Assalamu alaikum everyone, and good morning. Thank you so much, Dr. Sheikh, for the kind introduction. It always gives me an immense pleasure to be here at the platform of PIVNA to help and promote our future generation, because we all know that our time is going to end, and it's the important part to bring the future generation to come ahead. I always say that we are not trying to drain Pakistan. We want good physicians to stay in Pakistan. We don't want to just give this idea that that's the best thing you can do to come to America and practice here. We just want to be here to assist who have that dream to come out. And again, there are so many ways that we can contribute towards our country, towards our people, just not being there physically. We can also help bringing people here if they want to. So we are here to give a helping hand, a guidance to those who may not be fortunate to have an automatic guidance to pursue their career here. Now, as a part of PIVNA, my dream is to help anyone who wants to come, and we become the guide for them, because a lot of things are taken into consideration when you are pursuing residency and fellowship in America, and the path has become and is going to be tougher as the time passes by. The economical situation of Pakistan, the impression of Pakistan that has unfortunately been tarnished on international level, and so many other countries are doing better than Pakistan, so many other Caribbean medical schools, and again, the medical grads of America, the competition is tough. It's cutthroat. So a student coming from AKU, a student coming from Dow, they have a lot of huge network. It's not only important to get a good CV, to get a good score. Networking is very important. The last and the most important thing, as is rightfully said, that to match into residency, all you need is one good interview. Just that's it. You don't need 25 interviews. We all have seen applicants who had 25, 30 interviews and they did not match. So what was the deal breaker? What was the most important factor that either made them or break them? So the interview, I think that's what my topic is today, to discuss that, how you conduct yourself during the interview. Dr. Sheikh and Dr. Sheikh, there are so many Sheikhs here. This is just wrong. This is just wrong. We need more extraordinary, like Sheikhs here. So the CV, the application, how you have your electives, that's all will be discussed by my colleagues. What my part is to discuss, how are you going to conduct yourself when you have the interview. You have tried your best, you have got good scores, you have excellent CV, you have attained some externship or observership, you have letters, and you, by somehow either merit or connecting some strings or pulling some strings or through networking, you have secured an interview, which is very exciting. It's very important. But that does not automatically ensure that you are going to match. I, as a GI fellowship associate program director at Henry Ford, I was able to go through a lot of CVs, a lot of personal statements that I read, and we conducted a lot of interviews. So I actually had pulled a lot of people to get in GI fellowship interviews, and unfortunately, out of 10 or 15, whoever I got in, very few were able to impress the panel of interview. People who were taking interviews, all my co-fellows, they all looked at me and they said, like, really, you used your resources, you used your pull to get this person to come and interview? Because they actually were pretty disappointing. The way they dressed up, the way they conducted, the way they spoke, it was just so disappointing. So what happened? They had, CV was great, interview and everything, but when they came, the day they stepped into the building, they just had, I don't know if there was an idea of being nervous, so they came across as rude, because the cultural difference, the language difference, it always is there. So you have that kind of an aura on your head that you're nervous, because this is a very important part of your life. This is the most important day of your life, even bigger than your marriage day was, because this is going to define your future. So if you're not going to do well on the interview, if you're not going to talk appropriately, and if you're not going to come across as professional, it is not going to help you. So I tried my best, I got the interview, but if you're not going to do well on that interview day, you're not only going to harm the future applicants, but you're also going to waste the person's resources that he put on you. So it's a lot at stake. The first day, when you come for the interview, the most important thing is, how are you dressed up? Invest some money on a nice suit. Even if you have to get it from Pakistan, you don't know if you're going to get an interview call or not, just come prepared. Get a nice suit. Go to any departmental store. Macy's is a good place, but maybe get it tailored very nicely according to today's fashion. That is very, very important. Your suit should not be something that people would remember you. Don't wear a red suit. Don't just go with the solid colors, even if it's a pinstripe, but you have to select a nicely tailored suit that is going to show your personality. Invest money on nice shoes. Don't come in dirty shoes. Don't come in sneakers. Wear nice shoes, wear nice clothes, wear nice tie. For ladies also, please don't get shy away from wearing a dress, like the suit dress that you can wear with tights, but you have to wear nice shoes and bag, and it should not be extraordinary, should not be something outstanding, but should be mixed with the crowd you're sitting with. Your suit cannot be a baggy pants or a baggy suit that you maybe borrow from your uncle or your older brother. You have to get something for yourself. That's really important. I have seen so many interview applicants who would come in a really like wrinkled suit, or their dress, their shirt was not fitting to their neck, their tie was like from 1960s. Look up, it's so easy these days. The internet, the YouTube, there is so many resources you can look up what's in and what's not in. That is going to define you. So how you dress up is the first and most important thing. Second thing, how you interact with the people during your interview day. Being rude is not acceptable. Even if you are rude, I don't know why would you be rude on your interview day. Even if you have a biggest chip on your shoulder that, oh my God, I belong to some very high-five family from Pakistan, I'm a son of a president or something. If you're rude, you're done. Nobody likes, because the people who are you interacting with, they are fine. They already have secured their fellowship or residency spot. You are the one who are the beggar, so you cannot come across. And please remember one thing, that you cannot be rude to the coordinators. The program coordinator actually have the biggest say in the interview process. If you are rude to them when you came, or you are like communicating with them through email, and you ask them rude questions like where my parking is going to be, or anything that you say to them, that's going to go in your record. Don't forget that. You cannot be nice to the fellow residents or the program director, but you become rude to the program coordinator. That's not going to go fly high. You have to be nice to them as well. The basic principle of the life is that you have to be nice to everyone. Why would you be rude anyways? That thing is beyond my understanding. Like, if you have something God gave you, you cannot be rude for that. What did you do? If you are beautifully born, that's not your contribution. If you are born in a big and rich family, that's not your contribution, honey. That was given to you. So you just cannot take that chip on your shoulder and come to the interview day with showing a really rubbish attitude. So don't do that. You are the beggar that day. Be nice, extra nice to everybody. Also, one thing that we have noticed that or not talking at all, not asking questions because you are nervous. Either it's a language barrier or you just don't know how to ask questions. You have to look interesting. You have to look that you are interested in the program. You have to ask good questions. They say no question is a dumb question. Actually, there are dumb questions to be asked during the interview. So don't ask dumb questions. Ask good questions. Again, prepare. There are so many forums, there are so many websites, and then YouTube, there are like so many, and we are here for you. Ask us. Mock interview is very important, and I think we are planning to conduct, and I myself have conducted a lot of mock interviews that how to talk. So I cannot teach you how to talk English because that's too late. You should have worked on your English and your conversation before applying for USMLE. That is a barrier, and I understand that not everybody, English is not a first language. I started speaking English when I was 17 years old. I never spoke a word of English because I did not go to that English-speaking medium schools. So you can teach yourself. If I can teach myself English, anybody can teach themselves English. So it's not how much effort you have to put in before stepping into that process. So learn how to speak good English. And if you're not funny, don't try to be funny or interview techniques. That is not the day to prove that you're a stand-up comedian. Professionalism, because sense of humor is very different. Our cultural sense of humor, American cultural sense of humor is totally different. So don't try to be funny that day. Just talk professionally, talk nicely, be pleasant. Don't try to be outstanding for wrong reason. Try to be outstanding that you are pleasant, you are good to talk to, you dress nicely, you ate nicely. Table manners also. Teach yourself, learn table manners. We have seen applicants who would jump on the food as if they come from Somalia or something. Eat, okay, fine, you're hungry, but please control yourself. You can find something else later on. Control yourself, eat nicely, table manners, napkin. Literally, these things, when people come for interview, we dissect them. I went first time as a first-year resident, when we went through this interview process, I was shocked how everybody was dissecting the applicants. Like, this person came, said this person talked like that person walked, and these kind of shoes. So literally, everything is being dissected. You are on 360 monitor from all over the angles. So put up the good show. I hope you don't have to put up the good show. I hope you are good, but if you're not, pretend to be good. Also, other thing that after the interview, send thank you letters. I mean, printed letters or the envelopes are all outdated. So send a nice thank you email on the day of the interview. Don't wait it the next day. And again, it should be short and sweet. No one has time to read half a page long thank you. Very nicely done. Address them as a last name, because in Pakistan we say, like, if you address me, you're gonna say Dr. Faiza. Don't do that here, please. Address them from their last name. So address them with that nicely, and then send a thank you email to coordinator as well. That's also important. Again, prove the kindness, because last thing you want to recruit someone who is not nice, who's not kind of like courteous. So show your courtesy. and talk very nicely in slow voice. Don't talk when you're eating. Don't laugh with your mouth open when your food is in the mouth. Like basic things that we sometimes forget because we are maybe not cultured to be trained like that. But these things are very important. How do you conduct? How you carry yourself? If you need to go to the bathroom, how are you asking to find the restroom? Like, and again, a lot of times, and I am guilty of doing the same thing, that I might have come across rude because I was just nervous. Because when you are nervous, you are not giving out your best performance. Relax, take a deep breath, go to the bathroom if you need to, look into the mirror, tell yourself, I'm good, I got this. This is very important. Talk to a friend if you're very nervous, but relax. You got the interview, now it's time to give a good show. More relaxed you appear, more droop down your shoulders are, that you're not stressed out, you're just shrugging your shoulder, sweating. Please don't do that. Relax, you will do fine. You got the interview, now it's all put out, and be at ease. Don't get nervous, just stay relaxed, talk nicely, use appropriate words, prepare yourself, and we are here to do the mock interviews with you. So these are the very important things that don't forget. Come prepared, nice shoe, nice dress, no gelled hair, don't come with bring an umbrella. Because if it is going to rain, you did not come prepared, and your whole dress is wet, you think they would understand that, okay, it was raining, that's why your hair and gel and the clothes all are wet, but why didn't you come prepared? Why didn't you look up the weather? Bring a nice woolen suit, if like the overcoat, if it's going to be cold, gloves and all that, because if your day starts bad, it just kind of like become a snowball effect, that if the day started bad because you were not prepared, it is going to affect the ease, the relaxation that you are going to come with. So come prepared, look up the weather, and don't be late. Okay, so it's very important to remember all of those things. And again, if you have any further questions, we are here, and I hope these interviews will go very fine with you. Good luck with everything in the future. Thank you.
Talking of sheikhs, I need to acknowledge Sattar. He's been doing a great job with membership committee. As time is always limited, I would like three of our guests to speak very briefly, and two of our guests to speak very briefly, and then we have the main talk. Dr. Nusrat Shah, who has just been appointed as the Vice Chancellor of Chanka University, Chanka Medical University. Please come and see you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. It's a great honor for me to be here, and I'm really grateful to Dr. Maqbool and Dr. Khalil for inviting me and for hosting me, and also to the beautiful wife of Dr. Khalil, Diana, for hosting me and for inviting me for this Sana conference. It's a really pleasure to be here. This is the first time that I have come to know Sana and also PIVNA. Because although I had heard about Sana doing a lot of work, I had no idea about what actually Sana is and what is the scope of their work. So this is a great opportunity, I think, for being here. A little bit about myself. I'm basically a gynecologist, and I belong to Khairpur, and I'm a graduate of Nawab Shah Medical College, which used to be the People's Medical College, which was founded by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto in 1973, at the same time that Chanka was born. These two medical colleges were founded by Zulfikar Ali Bhutto Sahab. One is Chanka and one was Nawab Shah Medical. Both of them are now universities. That is the girls' universities in Nawab Shah, and Chanka is a co-education, and now it has become a university with six constituent colleges, with two medical colleges. We have a Sakhar Medical College also, Ghulam Muhammad Bahar Medical College, and we have Chanka Medical College, and I have a nursing college, I have a pharmacy college, College of Physiotherapy, and a dental college. So there are 6 colleges now under the university. And I joined as the Vice Chancellor in January 2023, about 5 to 6 months ago, after my retirement as Professor of Gynecology from Dow Medical College. So I've worked in Dow Medical College and Civil Hospital Karachi for nearly 28 to 30 years. And after Nawab Shah, Civil was my home and Dow Medical College was my home, where I saw the culture that students are studying for their USMLE from the very word go. First year maybe वो अपना वहाँ का curriculum नहीं पढ़ते. They start with USMLE books and start preparing for USMLE from first year. So 80% of Dowites, they are preparing for USMLE and they, most of them, they get a match in America and they move to America. So when I joined Chandka Medical College, and I used to ask students कि आपका क्या dream है, तां छाता करण चाहे बाबा तां छा करण वाक्ते ली, वो चवंदा असां मैडम मते lecturership कंदासीं चांडका में, असां इते बस सरकारी इते नौकरी मिली वेंदी असांखे, असां lecturer थी वेंदासीं पैथोलॉजी में, बायोकेमिस्ट्री में, उन में न, तो मां चयो why don't you apply, why don't you study for USMLE? तो जवाब ये मिलंदो त असां त अफोर्ड ही नथा करे सघूं. USMLE is so expensive. Just appearing for the exam and giving the steps is so expensive that most of the children of Chandka Medical College and Sakhar Ghulam Ahmad Mahal Medical College, they are not able to afford even giving the exams, and traveling and moving to America is a big thing for them. So then I actually started looking for the alumni. And when I asked the faculty, when I asked the principals, ke Chandka jab manu kithe, Chandka is now 50 years old. It was founded in 1973, and now in 2023 we are going to celebrate the Golden Jubilee this year. And when I asked for the data, ke mukhe manu khapan America mein, England mein, asaja bar jathe kathe vya hunda, I didn't get any data. The university or medical college had no organized data for alumni, although individuals said कि असांजा batchmates आहिनि, जाते काथे आहिनि, पर मां चयो मूंखे data खपे, मूंखे उन्हनि जो organization खपे, मूंखे I want to make an association, because all my life I saw in Dow that though Ghana was doing wonders for the students, they were helping out in research, they were helping out in electives, they were helping out in with USMLE, with scholarships, and they were bringing so much revenue for Civil Hospital as well as for the Dow Medical College. So when I looked around for my alumni, I couldn't find anybody. Utton local but I couldn't find anybody from US or from England or from Canada. So then I talked to Ada Makbul, I talked to Ada Khalil, and I met this wonderful person, the PIVNA team, the handsome team that is sitting here, Khurram and Rahil and this young lady, Fatma. They are really heroes. I think we all need to appreciate them for coming up with this great initiative, which no matter how grateful I am for this initiative, but this is a wonderful job that they are doing. And I asked them कि मुझे 5 alumni बोले दियो, काथों बोलियां, then they invited me to Sana that come over. You will find some people, you will find a lot of people who've been here for a long time, and we will help you in making this association. So that's how I got here with Ada Makbul and with this. And Khurram, when he came here, I made sure that he comes to Chandka and he speaks to the students and he gives this lecture on how to get into USMLE and how to prepare for that. A motivating lecture, and that was a great lecture that you gave. And students, in spite of being on vacation, they attended this lecture. I made sure that students from Khairpur Medical College, students from Gambert, students from Sakhar, and students from all around, even from LUMS, they had come especially for this lecture, and they made sure, I made sure that they attend this lecture. So, and I'm really glad what Fatma was telling us. The tips and tricks, Faiza, the tips and the tricks and tips for getting through the interview and getting into that residency. So, asanja ɓार जेके अचनि था ॻोठनि मथां अचनि, coming from rural areas, they don't know how to dress up, उन्हनि खे कीअं वेहणो आहे, कीअं ॻाल्हाइणो आहे, there's a big language problem that I have to take care of in giving them tuitions for language and for supporting them into their mentorship and how to groom themselves. So I would like that lecture to be taped, recorded, and given online to all the students of Chanka and other places who are aspiring to come here. So thank you very much for having me, and thank you everyone for your support. I actually need everybody's support who can support our students and also find me my alumni also. Wherever you meet Chantians, please let me know, and I would like to get in touch with them and make an alumni association. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Shah. हालांकि बदतमीजी लगी थी पर time constraint एड़ो आहे जो we are just on the nick of time and we have to conduct our session and finish our session on time. Ada Makbul Halepoto has a very brief comments about a diploma program. Ada Makbul, are you here? Yeah. Okay. And it is Makbul himself who has told me that there is time constraint, so he will abide by.
Thank you. I'm going to time for it. असांजे स्पॉन्सर आहे खलील लाखो वो खलील मुझे ख्याल में लम्स जो ग्रेजुएट है किथे जो एसेंस जो सारी असांखे पढ़ियो आहे मां पहिरियों सो पीडीए जो आहे छा कयूं मां सो तव्हांखां जूनियर हो बिल्कुलु सो उन हलाए पियो टोरंटो में इंस्टीट्यूट आहे उन नालो आहे कैनेडियन अल्ट्रासाउंड इंस्टीट्यूट जिते उहे डिप्लोमा कराईंदा आहिनि जीअं ॻाल्हि कई त खुरम ॻाल्हि कई त सभिनि खे USMLE ज़रूरी न आहे त हर को USMLE पास करे मेडिकल ग्रेजुएट्स ॿिया कम करे सघनि था अल्ट्रासाउंड टेक्नीशियंस ऐं हिते इहो असां वटि कोन्हे त अल्ट्रासाउंड टेक्नीशियन ॼण का ख़राबु ॻाल्हि कान्हे जो उहे असांजा घणेई दोस्त आहिनि या खलील लाको हिकिड़ो प्राइम एग्जाम्पल आहे जे पंहिंजो इंस्टीट्यूट खोलियो आहे जिते डिप्लोमा माण्हू करे सघनि था त ट्रेनिंग उनखे थी सघे थी सो तव्हांजा ॿार तव्हांजा या ॿिया जेके पाकिस्तान और सिंध मां असांजा अचनि था उन्हनि खे जेकॾहिं इहा थोरी घणी ट्रेनिंग कंदा त दे विल हैव द अपॉर्चुनिटी to have some clinical experience in USA or Canada, and then it'll strengthen their interview process and their CVs. So please, तव्हां सभिनी जो असांखे तव्हांखे सभिनी ब्रोशर मिलियो हूंदो जेको आहे बैक टू पेज जेको नेक्स्ट टू बैक पेज उनजी आहे तव्हां ॾिसो ॿियनि खे बि शेयर करियो and please I want a strong hand of applause for Khalil Lako and the work that he's doing. And just one last announcement. असांजा ॿ दोस्त आहिनि डॉक्टर रऊफ़ शेख ऐं डॉक्टर ख़ालिद मेमन उहे ॿई अनाउंस उन्हनि कयो आहे त उहे लाइफ मेंबर थींदा PIVNA जा ऐं उन्हनि मूंखे बि चयो आहे त आओ PIVNA जो मां लाइफ मेंबर थियां त तव्हांजा टे असांजा आहिनि ॿिया दोस्त जेको थियणु चाहे उहो असांजो दोस्त अलाशवाक तव्हांजो चोथों ॿियो केरु पंहिंजा नाला ॿुधाईंदा वञो वासदेव थी नंद कुमार नदीम टाल पता नदीम जबरदस्त ये सब सारे लाइफ मेंबर्स हैं यो ॾिसो रे लतीफ़ खोड़ो असांजो साईं सतार शेख करतार आहे किथे करतार किथे करतार जो नालो वठी Walid the bad that can do Walid the bad
Ada forum to ya Punjab member te thi life member Dr. Nadeem Qamar, Executive Director of NICVD. I don't think he needs to speak. His work speaks for him, but I'll request him to come and say a few words. Then we have our keynote speaker after that, and I'll introduce Rahi. He'll come and take over.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you for inviting me here. I'm very grateful to Dr. Khalil Memon and Dr. Halepoto for inviting me to this forum. And it's such a pleasure to be here. Now, question is about NICVD. NICVD, I did my training in the US. I did my residency from Baltimore, and then I went to McGill University in Montreal, did my cardiology fellowship, and a second fellowship in interventional cardiology at Ottawa Art Institute. The day I moved to Pakistan, I joined NICVD, and I have been working there for last 27 years. And when I joined NICVD, when I became the executive director, that's in 2015, I knew all the problems that were happening at NICVD. That's why I could deal with things better. Do we have the presentation or are we doing? No? Okay. No, you said no? Trying. So we don't have it. Okay, no problem. Okay, so what is NICVD done in the last 8 years since I became executive director in 2015? The first thing that we realized that the treatment of heart attack had changed. That means instead of giving thrombolytics, primary angioplasty was being done. So NICVD started primary angioplasty. And today we are the world's largest center for primary angioplasty. NICVD, Karachi alone, is the single largest center in the world for primary angioplasty. We did 9,441 primary angioplasty in 2022. And overall, NICVD, with its other satellite centers, did 19,888 primary angioplasty. So whether we be India, whether we be Russia, China, US, there is no center doing so many primary angioplasties. Besides primary angioplasty, the other issue that we realized was that PEDS was a problem. Pediatric cardiac patients these are the patients that are born to the poorest of the poor mothers. It was very difficult for them to come to Karachi. What was happening was that they would come to Karachi, they'd be seen by a registrar, RMO, and then they will be given an appointment for a consultant, and then they will come and see a consultant, will be given an appointment to get an echo done or whatever test needed was to be done. So we thought, let's get out of Karachi. So mashallah, today we are 10 hospitals, 10 full-fledged hospitals. All these hospitals are doing primary angioplasty. We are in Sakhar, Larkano, Khyber, Nawab Shah, Sewan, Hyderabad, Tando Muhammad Khan, and also in Mithi, Thar. We are doing primary angioplasty even in Mithi, in Thar, where it's the most backward area. So 10 hospitals doing all these interventions. We not only do these interventions in Sakhar, in Larkano, Hyderabad, and Tando Muhammad Khan, we do open heart surgeries. You will be surprised and you will be happy to see here that NICVD Sakhar has done more than 2,000 open heart surgeries, more than 2,000. NICVD Larkano just completed 100, and NICVD Tando Muhammad Khan has done about 900 open heart surgeries. And very successfully. Of course, in the satellites, we are selective in our cases, but we provide basic care. So, very, very good results. Not more than 2 to 3% mortality in our cardiac surgery patients. And the most important, pediatric patients are now getting their treatment at their doorstep, and they don't have to travel to Karachi. In all these places, we provide not only pediatric OPDs, but we also do pediatric interventions and pediatric cardiac surgery. So our program is really, I would say, the largest cardiac network in the world. Such volumes are not treated anywhere. So we also have another unique program in the world. Nobody else has this program, which is the chest pain unit program. So what is a chest pain unit? The chest pain unit that we have is, you can say, a 40-foot container where there's a diploma holder cardiologist sitting 24/7. And then there's a nurse, there is a defibrillator, it's totally equipped for emergency, urgent, first care, first aid treatment. And those who have, what? Okay. No problem. I'm almost done. So I just want to explain, this chest pain unit is a unit for first aid cardiac care. Anybody who's having an acute MI is shifted to the major hospital for a primary angioplasty. We have 17 chest pain units in Karachi alone because of the traffic problems of Karachi. Patients who are having an MI get stranded. But if they reach to one of our chest pain units, they are treated, heparin started, aspirin started, ECG is done, and if required, they are cardioverted shock if they're having VT or VFib or whatever. Last thing, I just want to tell you where else do we have chest pain units. We have a chest pain unit in Kashmir, we have a chest pain unit in Jacobabad, we have a chest pain unit in Ghotki, we have a chest pain unit in Shikarpur, we have a chest pain unit in Tandobago, we have a chest pain unit in Umarkot, and so we are pretty much, I may have missed a few, pretty much from Kashmir to Karachi, we are there everywhere. We provide state-of-the-art, I can guarantee, we provide state-of-the-art cardiac care at the doorstep, free of cost. Thank you very much.
Growing up together in Hyderabad, I never expected Nadeem to be doing such great things. Sorry, that's just an offhand joke. I am so proud to be associated with this organization who is helping people and graduates on daily basis. And one of them is Rahil Memon. Here he is.
Assalamu alaikum. Rahil Memon, I'm Dr. Rahil Memon, originally from Hyderabad in Diplo Parker. I already finished my child psychiatry fellowship and I'll be starting a career as assistant professor of child, adolescent and adult psychiatry at Baylor College of Medicine in Houston. Starting with PIVNA, it's an organization from the core of my heart, one of the founding members among 6. I'm also chair of a mentorship committee. My focus is on CV, how to help people, how to help young graduates from medical colleges of Sindh to increase the chances of getting into residency here. We have developed connections so far. We came through a long struggle into residency and fellowship, so we know how the struggles looks like. And so my focus is on CV, ERAS application, which is electronic residency application. Also on research. That's the reason I joined Baylor. And not the last but last one was the support. We got applicants requests, been getting it multiple times. Those who have started residency and fellowship this year, they are having a hard time, especially with communication skills and also the cultural shock they are getting, especially getting adjusted to the people, to the environment. So, and speaking of this one, we need high support. Thank you, Dr. Mahfoul Halepoto, who has always accepted requests for supervision, preceptors, and also we need some funds. So please, if you can come forward to be the donors for PIVNA, it would be very helpful. I just want to clarify, Dr. Khalil Memon just shared with us that the PIVNA has been registered as a 501c status organization. So please do help us. It's not for only us, but for people of Sindh. Thank you so much. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Sohail Sheikh for his brief talk. He's the program director of Mercy Health in Wisconsin, and
Thank you everyone, and Assalamu alaikum, and thank you for being here. So I'm Sohail Sheikh. I grew up in interior Sindh, Khairpur Miras, and I did my med school at Sindh Medical College, currently known as Jinnah Medical University, and after that I came here, did my residency at UD San Antonio, and then now I've been at the Mercy Health System for the past 11 years. So I became program director for over the past 4 years, so it's an honor to be part of this organization. I'm also served with Rahil and Khurram on the PIVNA, and then I'm also a member of the mentorship committee. So amazing work they have done, so I plan on being the lifetime member and also donating. So hopefully, and like they are doing, everyone is doing amazing work. So our contributions will help it grow. So I'll be covering on the personal statement. So most importantly, the residency application is all application. It's a total package. It's not like there was a lot of focus more on the step scores and things like that. And now it's only step one is only pass fail. So I mean, like not that your scores don't matter, but all energy should not go only on that. So looking at personal statement, the way we describe it, it's like your movie's trailer. Like everybody saw Top Gun's preview. Okay, how many reviews, how many people, first day booking. So you want to give it a pretty good insight and talk about the highlights of your life. Especially if we look at the US programs, diversity, inclusion, equity is pretty key. So they kind of like including that into your application and talking about your struggles. How did you become interested into going into medical school even? And so that's one thing, talking about like where your interest started, then pairing it and talking about like why you want to go into certain specialty. And so kind of like, and then more important couple things that I would like all applications to work on is know your personal statement by your heart, not just kind of like write it and copy paste it from somebody, but know it by your heart. And it should be, it's your story. It's this movie's preview. So how does it look like? And then how we can get more. So like Top Gun got this many reviews, but now Mission Impossible is getting totally different reviews. So how do we, it's your story. So talking about that. And importantly, read it couple times. Don't just kind of like type it and done, but read it and know it. Spelling checks, grammatical errors, these are some of the common things, and they are like, as Dr. Filza was talking about, it's like, these are off-putting. Your application, so make sure that it's properly proof-checked and your spelling corrects are checked too as well. So that's pretty much it, yeah.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shetty. So basically this program originally what we were trying to do is do it in two parts, but it's just that everything went kind of together. So our plan was to just give the introduction to PIVNA, which we did, and in the second part we were trying to conduct a residency guidance seminar. But as in the audience we have more, not the ones who are applicants. I think we have a few applicants in the crowd, so we want to help them too. And then this is being conducted live also. It's on YouTube, so there are many people who are watching also. So basically, like Dr. Shetty, so Faisal covered the interview skills and Dr. Sheikh covered the personal statement, and I'll just talk about briefly about the CV. So sorry for those who are already in practice to bore you, but to just to make sure that the candidates, someone flew in from California, someone flew in from Maryland just to attend this session, and it's important to network and then attend these sessions in person just to kind of give it a personal touch. So CV, what are we looking for the CV? Now, no matter I'm a pathologist, Faiz is a gastroenterologist, Dr. Suhail is a family practitioner, and then Rahil psychiatrist. So, but bottom line is, in the end, it doesn't matter which specialty you're going to be applying. Like Dr. Sheikh mentioned, the scores is still are going to be the key, but that's not the only thing anymore. Before, I think 2 years ago, a score and year of graduation were the two major things that we were looking at. Most of the programs, faculty, the only things they were looking at, you'd see there's blank CV, they did house job, you have 260 score, you graduated 2 years ago, you matched, done, move on. But last year, what we've seen, this is totally, the game has changed, and what the program is looking for is the CV now. So as you can see, as you saw in the presentation, that the average score now is 250, which means now if you have a 250 scores, this is not great anymore. This is average, right? So 250 is the new average, 260 is going to be a good score, no problem, 270. And then now with the scores, everyone's getting these scores, so that they're not going to matter. So what's going to matter is the CV. The CV, I believe, the most important thing in your CV, especially if you have graduated few years, 2, 3+ years, the most important thing in your CV is going to be home country residency. That matters a lot. Most of the students, most of the applicants, they've only done medical officer thing, like, just working as a general practitioner. What they write in their CV is the medical officer. And that helps. Of course, you shouldn't have any blanks in your CV, so consistent, and then you have worked throughout your career. No blanks, no gaps in your CV, so that's good. But try to enroll, and then when you talk to your friends, colleagues, and then when hopefully inshallah you'll become resident soon, and then when you'll carry on this message forward, tell them that as soon as they finish the house job, get into residency program, and then that's going to be the key. Then you come to the US, and then the other thing now what we are trying to change is that the US clinical experience, observership technically are not just clinical experience, right? So the US clinical experience meaning on-hands clinical experience, that is only electives, and electives you can only do as a medical student. So once you graduate, these will become observerships, not electives anymore. So try to, if you know, and that's why through outreach, what we are trying to do is, if you want to do USMLE, start soon as possible. Starting in your second year, third year, do your electives in fourth year and final year, and then that's going to be the key in your CV. Now, once you graduate, observerships are the only things that you can really get. They're no more externship. I mean, maybe there are a few programs that do the externship and all that. So observerships are going to be the only most of the things that you're going to see. So, and then help with your CV, again with the mentors and all that, to how to write those. What you did in your observership is strong. And also, last thing I would like to just focus on is that, I've seen majority of the students, they only come and they think that letter of recommendation is the only thing. We are working on getting 3 LORs. LORs are important, but of course, to get a good LOR, you need to perform. You are there to do the rotation, not to get the LOR. You perform well, and then you do your rotation well. In the end, you'll get a good, strong letter of recommendation. That's going to be the key. And again, like Dr. Sohail mentioned, the language also is important. So, for example, you have written, like one of my friends mentioned, like in your personal statement, your English is so great that you're like Shakespeare, and then, when you're talking, you're like a Bollywood movie. So it just doesn't connect, right? So make sure it's your own language and it's your own story. So don't fake it, but just be yourself. So this can be the key. And again, because of the time constraint, what we'll do is all the few of the applicants who are here, we'll just stay outside, and then we'll connect with you guys. You have any questions that we can take probably outside, because there's another session going on. So Dr. Sohail, if you can stay for a little bit, we can maybe take questions later on. And then a big round of applause for Dr. Khalil Mehman. Phenomenal job throughout. Last year we were here in November, and he single-handedly did all the support, arranging every single step of the way. Dr. Mehman, he's been phenomenal, so we really appreciate him, and we are grateful to him. And even the entire Sana convention, he being in charge, it's very nice of you.
Thank you, Quran. Thank you very much. And on behalf of local organizing committee, I will be thank you, Dr. Sohail, Dr. Khurram, Dr. Faiza, Nadeem Kamar, Dr. Nadeem Kamar, Dr. Nusrat, and Dr. Rahim. So now we're going to start another session here, and we're going to be after that, the social hours and social networking will be outside. And I will also give a little, one of our best professor, Dr. Bilkis Malik, who died about 2 days ago. She gave us 50 years of her life in Larkana. She was the one who was the founder of OBGY unit in Larkana. She did a FRCOG from Punjab. She came to Karachi, and then right away she from Karachi came to Larkana. She stayed 50 years in Larkana, gave her life to Larkana, and she was a wonderful professor. So I want to please 2 minutes silent for her. Thank you very much, and please now we're going to start the social hours outside. And thank you very much again, the panel, and PIVNA did a great job. Thank you again. And last, those doctors who are here, I am requesting them to please become a life member of the PIVNA. PIVNA is the way go to forward. Please, thank you.
Endowment one.
Yeah.